My client screamed out, "Why are you asking me this question?" You want to learn what this is all about? Come join me as I share with you what occurred during pretrial testimony of my client in this wrongful death case. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer practicing law here in the state of New York. So now my client was bringing a lawsuit seeking compensation for wrongful death of her spouse. It was a medical malpractice case. And now it was her opportunity to answer questions by the attorneys who represent the doctors in this particular case. That's known as a deposition. It's a question and answer session given under oath in the attorney's office. So now I tell my client beforehand, I said, listen, you're going to be here for hours and hours, and the defense attorneys are going to be asking you countless questions, and they'll keep us here for hours, and it's going to appear or seem as if these questions have nothing to do whatsoever with your particular case. But you still have to sit here and answer those questions unless I object. So that's exactly what happened. And now my client had been sitting there for hours, and finally she got so frustrated. She got so upset, and finally she lost her cool and just blurted out, "Why are you asking me this question?" And now she turns to me and says, "Do I have to answer it?" And in this particular instance, she did have to answer the question, even though she believed the question or the answer had absolutely nothing to do whatsoever with the claims that we were bringing or the defenses that the defense attorneys were using to protect themselves in this type of case. There are only two types of questions that I will tell my client not to answer. One is if there was privileged information that we discussed that now the defense attorney is asking, "Hey, what did you talk to your attorney about?" And the second type of question that I will tell my client not to answer is if a question is so palpably improper. And here's a great example. "Mrs. Jones, when was the last time your husband beat you?" Now, if this is a claim for medical malpractice, claiming that a doctor did something improper, what does the fact that a husband may or may not have beat her have anything to do whatsoever with the claims or defenses being raised? In that instance, it would be a palpably improper question, a question that should never be answered in this particular instance because it's got nothing to do with the claims or the defenses. And now any answer she gives is simply going to prejudice her and the claims being made in this case. So in those two limited instances, I will tell my client, do not answer the question. However, in all other instances, my client during the pretrial testimony phase is required to answer all the other questions that the defense attorneys are asking. So why do I share this great information with you? I share it with you to give you an insight and an understanding into what goes on during the litigation process in a medical malpractice case or an accident case or even a wrongful death case here in New York. You know, I realize you're watching this because you likely have questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, if your matter happened here in New York and you do have legal questions, what I encourage you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. This is something I do every single day and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at Oginski-law.com. That's it for today's quick video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.